needs to be in jail right now. That's what I want to say. That's what I want the world to know. I'm serious about it. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. That Donald Trump needs to be in prison right now. Here's why. It's because he's still promoting the little jabby thing because he wanted to be all about it. And he led the Operation Warp Speed. And whether he knows it or not, he went down the wrong path. And a few days ago, he was trying to figure out why Alex Jones was talking about him, and so he told his people to like get a word out to Alex, and so Alex put out a special report out. He put out a video and was talking about all the people dying. And I mean, just talking about this could get me banned off YouTube or anywhere, Facebook. It's so hard to talk about it, but it's like, this is happening. All this stuff is happening, and there's so many doctors and scientists talking about it and reports. The evidence, the facts are out there. If you want it, you can find it, you can get it. Well, oftentimes it's buried, and you have to dig for it, or you have to know where to go. And there's just so much information. The people that know this, they know this, or they got it, and now they're getting a lot of side effects. It's so devastating, and we're gonna continue to see the effects down the road for years to come. The numbers out there, I mean, it's so big, and they got the report to Donald Trump, and he said, no, I still think they're so effective, and I saved millions and billions of people, and this is all that I want to hear about it. I don't want to hear anything more about it. And that's terrible. And then Alex responded with, I'm just we need to like support other people, and like Ron DeSantis, the governor in Florida. We need to focus on those people who are coming out against the deadly jabs. And it's like, Alex also said that Trump has until the 23rd of September 2022. So, or else kind of thing. It's like, we gotta figure out something. So he has a month. Trump has a month, and I would take it a step farther, because it's devastating. Like, I was in Vietnam when Trump became the president. When he was sworn in 2017, I was teaching English, and I decided to come back that year. And a big reason was because of Donald Trump, and I voted for him in 2020, and I support him, but I would have him in prison, even though he doesn't deserve it. But they set him up. They gave him false information about it, and about a lot of things. Trump got a lot of really bad advice, and he's too stubborn a lot of times, which is good, but it's also really bad. And he needs to pay for not realizing that he made a big mistake. And all he has to do is stand up and say, they lied to me about this, about that, about this thing, that thing, so many things, but especially the jab, especially Operation Warp Speed. They lied to me about that. Because so many people are dying. So many celebrities, and so many regular people, and then just the lockdowns itself. You got starvation. Well, he's talked about that a little bit, but it's like, the jab, no matter what company it's from, because there's a couple different versions of it, but it's like it's bad. It's very bad. And some of them are worse. But it's like they're blaming it on Trump more and more. And we've talked about this for years. I said that the election would be decided around this, and it was for the most part. I mean, other than like the laptop thing that the FBI told Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook not to talk about. There was a couple other reasons for the results of the 2020 elections, which we're not allowed to talk about on YouTube, especially YouTube, or else your account gets suspended. Your channel gets terminated, like with Steven Crowder and a lot of people. And it's terrible, but it's like I'm really upset with Trump for a lot of reasons, and I've always tried to give him constructive criticism. A lot of times I published a report, my article, early in 2020. This was a few months before the election in 2020. It was back in March. Like what is that? 9 months before November. And I said this election is gonna be decided mostly on your stance on the jab. And it's like, it's critical to know that you gotta make a stance. You gotta stand your ground. You gotta realize what you already know, because you already talked about your son, Barron, who is supposedly Steve Bannon from the future. That's a conspiracy, but it's like you should know better. Trump, you should know better. So Alex is like, you got until the 23rd of September. What? But I'm like, you should be in prison right now. Like, not lock Trump up, and have him sitting there thinking about what he did wrong. But maybe he's so close-minded that even that won't be able to wake him up. Because if he's not able to realize what he's done wrong, it's pretty devastating. Like, that he's not able to see. Perhaps he doesn't know. And perhaps a lot more people will have to get sick and die, which a lot of people are. Too many people. I hate to say numbers, but the numbers are so big, you wouldn't believe it. Sometimes I say the numbers on my blog, my daily blog on Hive blog, link in the description. But it's like, the numbers are so big. So many people are talking about it. So many people have been talking about it in videos and articles and everything. Not just random people like me, who you say, have no credibility, or not a lot of credibility. It's not just people like me. It's also doctors and scientists. And come on, they have some credibility when they talk about that. There's been studies and a lot of things. So the science is there if you want to take a look. But it's like, how long do we have to go through this dance? Like, people die, and then you could just blame it on other things. Like, that's because of this, or that's because of that. It's not because of this, because of the job. But it's like it is. And so it's like I'm stuck in this position of like, I really wanted to like come back and help him win a second term. I was in Vietnam and he won the first time. Trump became president, and I'm like, okay, we gotta make sure he wins again in 2020. And they take it. And you're not allowed to say that on YouTube, that they took it. They'll totally delete this video. They'll totally suspend me, ban me, terminate me, just like they did to me before my other accounts on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and that's terrible. And people should be upset about that and do stuff. Like, talk about it. Mostly just talk about it. And, like, you should not be okay with censorship, getting banned and stuff. Like, it's not normal, but it's becoming normalized. Because we're just, like, hit with it. We're hit with it all the time. We're like the frogs being boiled to death without knowing it. Or thinking you know that everything's okay. Like, you think things are okay. And they're not. Like, that's terrible. When you think you know something, when you don't really know something, you gotta really be open-minded, and you gotta really be aware that you could be wrong. And I try to be aware and open-minded, and it's like, it's hard to be open-minded. And you end up becoming somebody like Trump, who's closed-minded and too stubborn. And Trump is so good at being determined and focused, and that makes him into a monster who's unable to see when people around him lie and lead him down the wrong path. And then he has to turn around and admit that he's wrong, that he was wrong for so long. He's okay if he realizes early on that he was lied to, and then he can turn around and be like, oh, that person's fake news. Oh, this person's fake news. But he was duped over the course of many, many years. And he got a lot of money from, like, maybe, I don't know how many, like, I think it was Pfizer. He got like $1 million, but not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. But anyways, it's like, I don't know if I should, like, scream like Alex Jones and say, like, they're turning the freaking frogs gay. Say something crazy to get attention, just to make a point that Trump is effed up. Like he's like one of the best presidents in the sense of he did some good stuff. He's a good president because he's not trying to destroy the country like Obama or Biden or Bush or Clinton. It's like Trump did some good things. And if he was back in the White House, he would do some more good things. But what's the point if you can't admit that you were duped, that you were lied to about this one thing, which is a really, really big thing because it's on top of a lot of other things that are happening simultaneously. It's devastating. And so it's like, he's the best man for the job at the moment, but the little bit of poison that's in there makes a big mess. And there's so many people talking about it, like, especially on Twitter. And it's sickening to the soul to find out what's happening. And it's just, what are you going to do? Well, for the time being, you just got to tell everybody that you're fed up with Trump. And you have to just, like, boo him. Like, if there's ever another Trump rally ever again, anywhere, if he's anywhere, you gotta get in his face and be like, they lied to you, and you're stupid for not calling it out and not turning your head away. Because that's all you gotta do, Trump. All you gotta do, Trump. All you gotta do, you just have to tell the American people, they lied to me. Nah. Hello, my fellow Americans. I'm Donald J. Trump. They lied to me about the, jabby. Stick it in your arm. I wrote a song and I put it on YouTube. I uploaded it to YouTube early in YouTube. history, not YouTube history. What am I saying? Early in 2019, I uploaded a video about this a year before the 2020 thing, lockdowns and everything. So I uploaded the video and I said, if you don't want to stay alive, you know what you do? If you don't want to stay alive, stick it in your arm, stick it in your arm, stick it in your arm.